Levi in Washington.
Hi, Levi.
Yep, that's me. Hello.
What do you got for us?
So I'm calling onto the show to talk about my experience being an atheist in a religious home. And I haven't told any members of my family that I am an atheist.
We get this sort of call a lot.
Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I know. And I mean, like, as we go on, like, depending on how long I'm on this show, we can also drive onto other subjects that I have had in mind calling onto the show.
Yeah, we might want to save some of those for later, but let's hit your current topic.
Right. So, like what I said earlier, I've only merely questioned Christianity and the existence of God to my mom and the actions that the God of the Bible commits, including the flood, and how the flood is. I don't know if I could say that it's genocide, but it's a mass killing, like the mass extinction of the human race. And like, I would ask my mom, like, isn't that something that's hypocritical of God to make a law that says you cannot kill, but then he goes out of his way to kill the entire freaking human race?
Right.
And then, like, she would, like, point her fingers at me, cry, scream, yell at me.
Yeah.
Why would you say this about God? Like,
God can do anything he wants is the short answer to that.
Are you trying to change her mind? Is that why you're talking to her about this?
No. I mean, like, again, I've only said that I've questioned it about her.
Okay.
And back then I wasn't questioning it for any reason other than it was emotional, that I was angry at a God that I used to believe in, that he didn't give me the things that I wanted.
Sorry.
The reason,
go ahead.
The reason why I questioned was for a more emotional reason, and I think that's, I mean, like, I don't think that that's a horrible reason to question God, but I mean, like, or to question the existence of a God.
Well,
but,
yeah, there's a lot of reasons to question.
At the same time, I don't think emotion should be completely the reason why you're questioning a God. I believe that there should be a non-emotional reason why you're questioning God.
Well, I think that any reason that you have to question a God, you should question a God. But the questioning isn't what makes you an atheist. The questioning is what makes you human.
Right. And I mean, that was back then, but then nowadays, like this year, for the past 6 months or so, like, it's been for non-emotional reasons that I have been questioning God, to the point where, yes, I do consider myself an atheist. And no, I'm not doing it for any reason that a lot of theists propose why I would become an atheist. Like, a lot of theists would propose that I'm doing it because I hate God, because there's something in my life that's going wrong.
Right.
But
well,
no, it's just that.
That's kind of a way of shutting you down, right?
Yeah, it's just, I believe that I should have the right. Sorry if there's noise. I believe that I should have the right, and I shouldn't be accosted for questioning God. I mean, like,
absolutely.
I've heard from a lot of. Sorry?
You are allowed to.
Yeah, let me let you in on a little secret. A lot of people who believe have that as a big part of their identity, and when you question those beliefs, you sometimes may hit nerves, and it's not anything wrong with you. It's really more of questioning their identity, and a lot of people, I think, deep down know that they don't have good reasons for their belief, and they may feel like they're threatened a little bit by your lack of belief. And so you will often get an emotional response when you're trying to have an intellectual argument.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So just kind of be prepared for that. It's kind of part of the territory.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Well, so you did some research.
Firsthand.
You did a bunch of research and then found out that you don't believe it unemotionally, right?
Right. And I mean, like, what a lot of other atheists say is that, like, they don't make the specific claim that there is no God.
Right.
They just say that they are unconvinced of the evidence of a God.
Right.
And
so what's going on with your mom?
So my mom, like, I've been raised in a Christian home for the past 18 years of my life. And anytime that I would question it, like, merely ask questions like, for example, Noah's Ark, or like another time before that, I asked, like, why is it a necessary thing for me to worship God? Like, why should I go to hell for that?
Asking
like,
questions is awesome.
And like,
I love it.
yeah, my family at home, like, they were hearing everything that I was saying. And they were all up in my face telling me, like, why would you leave God? Like, or like, why would you question him? Like,
can I give you some
don't
advice?
You know how much he's done for your life?
Can I give you some advice?
Yeah.
Actually, are you still living at home?
Yes.
Are you safe? Like, if they
yes,
found out you were an
safe.
atheist, would you be safe?
Sorry?
If they found out that you were an atheist somehow, would you be safe?
I mean, I can't really be too sure about that because back then in the past, like when I asked those questions, like I would like within a matter of days, I would go right back to just believing again because like I didn't have a lot of super credible, like I didn't do enough research.
So they can rationalize that you're going through a phase.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you have a similar dynamic to the way that I grew up, where everything's basically run by emotions. And I would suggest that first of all, call recovering from religion, because they may have some advice for you, probably much better advice than I can give you. But if you'd like to hear it, I would say don't talk to them if they're getting emotional just by you questioning. Maybe don't talk to them about that subject, because that means that their guard is up. They have it in their mind that they need to keep the faith in order to survive, in order to get to heaven, in order to be a good person. And so you questioning makes you appear to be some kind of evil, demonic influence, and you're making them scared if they're getting emotional about it.
Fear button.
They're afraid. So what I would do is I would keep those questions to myself around those people until you're out of the house and safe, because like you said, there's no way to know how they'll react until you know. But I think you're doing the right things. Keep questioning. Just maybe be careful around them.
Yeah, and not to go too off subject, but I mean, like, it was kind of interesting how, like, when I actually did concise research on one subject, I also did a concise research on one subject because, not to get too political here, but in my home, it's also very conservative. And like back then when I was raised, I went from a Christian conservative to now an atheist libertarian.
Nice.
And I think that's interesting because, like,
I did the same.
Those two ideologies are about questioning the things that you were taught are good for you. Like, on one hand, like whether God is someone that you should worship, and on the other hand, whether the government is right or not. And making their decisions.
Yeah.
And like in both ways, like just because someone says that their decisions are right because they have the authority to somewhat do so, is it to atheists and libertarians like not a credible argument because of what laws have been written and how the authorities contradict their own laws that they make for humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Yep.
You're
on a good course.
And I hope that things are going to turn out okay. And please call back and let us know, if anything changes.
Yeah, check in
if
with us
we have any
again.
more questions, okay?
All right, I absolutely will. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you so much, Levi.
All right. So I'm going to call it at the end of the show. Thank you very much, Jenna.
Thank you.
We do have a couple calls that we're not going to get to, and I'm sorry about that. You can call another time. And
come next week.
I apologize. And thank you to our crew, and we'll move on to the nonprofits next.
All right. Yay.
Yay.